This polytunnel really has just made so much difference to my gardening already this year. My name is Sam and I have about a 3-acre small holding here up in North Wales. And this polytunnel went up in April of this year and I am absolutely chuffed with how it's gone. I'm not going to do a full tour of all the small holding today, but I'm going to give you an update in here because this is where things are changing the most. I thought I'd just do a quick walk around and show you the stuff that's going on. As you can see, the bees are pretty happy about my tomatillos, and so am I. So in my previous videos I mentioned that the flowers are just falling off, like they're just not pollinating, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong with this tomatillo. It was all kind of like this. Let me show you. Like this, you know, this is, oh yeah, they just fall off, you know, once the flower goes, if they're not pollinated. And you can see down here how many flowers have just fallen off after they've not been pollinated. Yes, I really didn't know what the problem was, and I was trying to do something about it, but I didn't know what the thing would be, so I basically just ignored it and cracked on with everything else, and something's happened. Hello, Mr. Bee. Look at these. Look at this. So these ones, these big husk things that are forming, pretty sure that's a good sign. So I'm hoping that that means that they are pollinating and that there is going to be some fruit in there, which is very exciting. So there are loads of those forming on here now. Still a lot of flowers that are forming, but to be honest, it's just absolutely covered in flowers, so it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm not expecting all of them to give me fruit, but there's a good number that look like they're actually starting to develop something now, so I'm pretty happy. My cucumbers are taking over the world. Most of what you can see here is the one crystal lemon cucumber. There is a different variety on the other end. I've not had any off of that yet, and it's been a little bit swamped out, but this crystal lemon has just been so prolific and so successful that I don't want to stop it. You know, it's giving me fruit. Under here, we've had absolutely tons of fruit off it, and I'm still pulling 1 or 2 little cucumbers. They're only sort of tennis ball size when they're ripe. Ripe? Is that the word? When they're ready. But I'm getting 1 or 2 a day, so it is pretty ideal for the two of us to be eating fresh cucumber every single day. Right. So I've got the 1 crystal lemon on this side and then 2 more on the other side. Now, these have been a little bit funny on this side. As you can see, I've got 2 that are completely different colours. This one with its quite relatively dark green leaves, they look quite happy, but then this one over here is a lot lighter. He's not quite getting what he needs in terms of nutrients, I'm not sure, but I gave him a feed and now his new leaves are coming out a lot darker, so I'm hopeful that that will be okay. They're both still producing, so again, loads of cucumbers for us, and then hopefully some of the others will catch up and we'll also get some other varieties. The other varieties do have flowers on them now, and there's some female flowers I can definitely see in there, so hopefully it won't be long until we're also trying some other varieties of cucumber. And this one here is a market more. He's just started putting on flowers. It's the only market more one I have, the only seed that came up. So hopefully we'll get some of those, and then I'll have the crystal lemon, the Armenian yardlong and the market more, and I can see what we like and what performs well. I'm happy that the crystal lemon have come up so early because the others do seem to be taking a little bit longer to get themselves established. So also on this trellis with one of the Armenian yardlongs is a mini watermelon. Well, I wasn't sure if they were alive. I think I only had 4 seeds, only 3 of them came up, and I put them all out here when they were literally just seed leaves, because they just seemed stalled at that point. They were just seed leaves and nothing else. So I planted them out in here, and one of them just didn't do anything else, it just died. But 2 of them have taken off. So as you can see up here, right, where did I put him? this is it in here, and then he comes all the way up here, all the way up here, and he's reached the top. So as you can see, we do have some female flowers going on in here. I don't really know anything about growing melons, so I just bung them in because I got the seeds from somewhere. And then he's gone all across the floor, and this is the other one here, and I'm trying to convince him to head up this trellis here. So I have no idea if I'm going to get melons out of that, but I really hope so. That was a bit of a long shot. They're only supposed to be like tiny, I think petite yellow watermelon is the variety. I will start melons earlier next year. I only whacked these seeds in because we got the polytunnel last minute and I thought it'd be worth a go. Alright, let's talk tomatoes quick. Up here in North Wales, I think my first tomato last year was a good 3 or 4 weeks later than I've got them in the tunnel. I've even had tomatoes earlier here inside the tunnel than I did when I lived on the south coast of England. So this really is just making a huge difference. Now this one, if you watched my previous videos in here, seen this curly, funny looking tomato. It's not spread. Whatever's wrong with him hasn't spread. It's been like this since the beginning, since it was a foot high. So anyway, I've topped it and it's got a ridiculous amount of flowers and fruit trying to form on it and not a lot of leaves, so I don't know how that's going to go. But he's got these upward facing fruits. Yeah, I'm really not. I've just left him going as a bit of an experiment. But this side, this is the Nagina, which is a plum tomato variety, and he's setting some fruit. I don't know why all my plants are he's, but they just are. It's starting to look really good. And then coming around here, these are sweet million cherries, which are starting to put on their fruits now. It's the same as those 3 behind it on that back wall. They're all sweet million. They're not as vigorous as the other cherry tomato variety that I've got over there, which is the Italian cherry, but I'll wait and see and try them and consider all of the factors when I decide what I want to do next year. I have lost a few flowers off the plants in here. I think it's because when there is sunshine in here it does get ridiculously hot. I mean, I have both of the doors open, but out this door is a hedgerow, so you don't get loads of breeze in here. It's not a problem too often for us. We don't get loads of sunshine, but when we do, obviously it really does catch in here. Sometimes it's difficult to get a breeze through. It's not the end of the world. Most of the flowers aren't dropping. I think it's just the ones that are at that stage, you know, at the wrong time. I'm just letting that be, not worrying about it too much. These cucumbers on this side of this trellis, so that's the watermelons on that side. These are my gherkin cucumbers. I've not seen any female flowers yet. Oh, there's one. There's one under there. There's another one under there. So we've got 2 of those going up here. So hopefully we'll also get some gherkins soon. And then coming this way, we've got some Roma tomatoes down here, and then some Thai basil in front, and that is doing just oh so well. I'm mega chuffed with this. The Genovese basil, not so much. It's you know, it's not completely capitulated, but it's not far off. Whereas look at this, so I've got 3 Romas down here and then another 5 over at the back there. So I am trying to keep these Romans reasonably pruned. I'm a little bit blight sensitive because I live somewhere so wet. I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of the harvest in order to decrease the chance of getting blight. So I've kept them reasonably pruned, just taking the branches off that are touching the floor, and anything that's getting a bit too dense in there, just thinning them out a little bit. Oh look, one of my cherry tomatoes is starting to blush. So these are the sweet million. Oh dear. That's a jalapeno with a big hole in it. Ugh. So my peppers are suffering quite badly from pests in here. I've had a few fruits set on the jalapenos and on the cigaretta down the other end, and they're just getting holes in them and rotting out from the middle where there's a buggy inside. And I'm not really sure what to do about it. I'm not really doing anything about it, if I'm honest. I'm just kind of waiting to see if they're going to overcome it. It's only the first fruits, you know. So I'm watching that. The cayennes look quite good in comparison to everything else, but I'll show you those in a second. I'll try and squeeze my way past. These are the Italian cherry tomatoes, and yeah, they are, I mean, just look at the flowers on this. They're just a bit ridiculous, aren't they? I've lost control of those a little bit, excuse me. But fingers crossed they're nice, because it looks like we're going to have a lot of those. My bloody butcher tomatoes are still giving me fruit. We're getting one or two a day that I'm picking as we go. I'm hoping that, you know, once everything else catches up, we'll end up with enough of a harvest that I can actually do something with. But at the moment, just having one or two for salads and things in the day is pretty nice. Look at that one. He's a beaut. These are my cayenne peppers. And I think they just look so much better. Like, it's got loads of flowers. They seem to be setting fruit. Let me find some. There's a little fruit in there. So I'm just, well, it's raining. Just trying to be hopeful that they will, you know, that I will get some peppers. I'm not sure why some are doing better. The ones down the other end, the bell peppers, seem to be doing better, and they're in a block of peppers rather than this row in front of the tomatoes. I wonder if that's causing a problem. This cigaretta down here, you probably see they don't look anywhere near as happy as the cayennes, I don't think. They look a lot like bushier and more established. These are a bit spindly and they're getting eaten by something. See a big hole in the stem there. I've lost a couple of fruits off of this plant already where they've been chomped by something. We do have a couple on here that don't appear to have significant holes yet. So hopefully we'll get some off of these. This one looks the saddest. This is... yeah, I don't know. I'll keep an eye and just see how they go. And the only other thing in here that I think is worth showing you for now is my San Marzanos. Now, I've given them quite a prune. As you can see, they've got their legs out a bit. Mostly because I've got all of this growing up around them and I just want to keep the airflow back here. But they are starting to put on some good sized fruits under there. So I am pretty chuffed, actually. They're a little bit slower to set fruits than everything else, but you know, that's not really a problem. It's only the beginning of July now, so there's a time, we'll just see. So I just wanted to show you in here and why I'm so excited about this tunnel. I've got one more curiosity that I thought I'd show you quick before I close up for the night. I've been showing you my beetroot and my spinach over here. I pulled up some beetroot. I don't know if I showed you that yet, but I will if I haven't. And they've got a row of spinach behind them. So this is perpetual spinach. It's going to seed a bit. And then the row of beetroot in here, which I've harvested some from. And I thought this was a row of spinach. And then you get here. This is not spinach. What is this, people? I want to say it looks like a bok choy or a pak choy. I don't really know the difference. The reason I don't know the difference is that I have never grown either. I don't own the seeds for either. So how I ended up with one of these in and amongst my spinach is a mystery. I mean, the young leaves look quite similar, so I didn't really think anything of it. But this, Anyway, I'm definitely getting rained on, so I'm gonna head inside. But I just thought to give you an update on my polytunnel because I am in love with it. Do you love the polytunnel? Do ya? Going in gorgeous. Yeah, it is an absolute game changer, and I was a bit nervous when we bought it because, you know, they ain't cheap, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was a bit of an on a whim purchase, so I was a bit worried that I wouldn't be able to pull it off, but I got tomatoes and cucumbers, and that's what I wanted, so I'm super happy. Of course, room for improvement, and I will continue to. But especially for folks who live in areas like I do, where it is not that hot, we don't get loads of sunshine, and it is very, very windy, I think the polytunnel, like the potential for the difference that the polytunnel can give you is so huge, and I am experiencing that now, so I am team polytunnel.